The Blocktalk podcast started because of my passion for the property management industry. I wanted to start a conversation and add some value within the industry with a diverse range of people and professionals who can add something extra. As we start out, my aim is that the podcast offers some useful insight into a variety of views, opinions, thoughts, and foresights from our guests, who include business leaders and industry experts. If you enjoy the podcast and want to find out any other information, head on over to brianwelsh.co.uk. Hello and welcome to another episode of the CPL Clientcast. So today we are talking about, it's our quarterly Clientcast, isn't it? So today we're talking about team news. It's quite a lot of that, actually. We're also talking about CPL's product set. We're talking about our sponsoring conferences. We've got quite a few coming up as well in England and in Scotland. Going to talk about Blockworx. And then we're going to just finish off and talk about the podcast as well. So I'll kick off team news. So yeah, our team's grown significantly over the last 3-4 months. So in support, we have Tunde and Damien who have joined. Tunde's second line, Damien's team lead in support now, which is great. They're doing that. I mean, CPL is a big product. There's a lot to learn. There's a few product sets out there. So they're getting all great guns learning the product and providing support to the customer base. We have a new business development manager. We've never really had a BDM in place, and that's their sole job. So it's great to have a dedicated resource doing that. This is to support the market in Scotland for private factors and also housing associations, and also when we go into England. Product changes we need to do because legislatively it is obviously different in Scotland and England. But the plan is to have something ready to install and implement by the beginning of next year. So that's really good. So Tom joined us. He's only been with us about for a month so far. He's already got a couple of leads in. So yeah, going great guns. And our dev team has grown significantly. So Dan joined 3 or 4 months ago. He's on our website of our team. Malik and Ope joined. They're on core product. We'll talk about naming and things like that in a minute anyway. And Alex and Jacob joined very recently, like within the last couple of weeks, and they're on web team as well. So yeah, so great. It's brilliant to have them all on board. We're now at 21 people within the business, which is way more than we had 6 months ago. So it's really good though. It's great. Business is growing, so lots of new business kicking about. So it's great to have them on board. So Will, you're going to talk about CPL products.
Yeah, exactly. I'll kick off with our desktop product, which was just called CPL before. We're rebranding that, naming that CPL Core, and that's really to give the distinction between this product and our new web product. And the new web product we're going to call CPL Connect, which really feeds into the whole way that it connects with users and also with CPL Core as well. So on the CPL Core side of things, your team have been really busy working through a lot of new features. So one of those is the Go Cardless implementation. We've been busy working away on that, and phase 1 is now complete. It was completed this week actually, and that's sort of ready for testing now. So we'll hopefully get that through testing, and then we'll be looking to roll that out in probably about a month's time, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how our timelines fit. But it's looking really great. It's going to allow our users to set up direct debits for our clients using the Go Cardless portal and all of their services, which adds a lot more usability to the current direct debits, and also allows users to make instant bank payments as well, which is a really awesome new feature that we didn't have before. So that's looking really good. We've also been working on a new deployment tool. So we're kind of looking to move away from how we currently deploy our software, which currently uses Microsoft Click Once, and we're going to use a different approach, which will allow us to be able to have more control over where our product is installed and how we use it. And that's going to really be key for us to be able to integrate CPL Core and CPL Connect together so that they can speak to each other and kind of have that kind of seamless communication between the two. So the user should be able to kind of run both at once and sort of hop between the two very easily. So that's coming along really well as well. And again, we're sort of looking at probably a kind of 1 to 2 month timeline before we start rolling that out. The other thing that the team have been busy working away on, which has started in the last few weeks, is the pending sales module. So this is a brand new module in CPL Core that's going to allow property factors, when they have a sale coming in the pipeline for one of their properties, they can start to record all the information for that sale, anything to do with sort of documentation they might need to send the solicitors, any kind of queries or any information they need to provide to the owners or the potential buyer. They can do that within the CPL Core system without having to actually process the sale through. So if it then falls through, they don't have to go ahead with it anymore. And if it's delayed, then that doesn't impact the current system, and the current owner stays as they are, untouched. We did have a lot of mechanisms we still do have a lot of mechanisms in the system to allow you to adjust that anyway, but this just kind of makes it a lot easier, and it adds a lot more functionality around being able to record documentation of that sale, and things like potential sale fees, and that can also be recorded in there too. And that's also coming along really well. I've got a demo next week with the team for them to show how that's coming along. But what I've seen of it so far is looking really good. So that's the kind of headlines for CPL Core. Moving on to CPL Connect, which is the new product which we're aiming to release in October. At least have a first version to start showing people. And that's very, very close to completion, obviously with it being coming out in October, but it's been something we've been working on for a fair bit of time now. And we're really happy with how that's looking. The stuff that the developers are working on at the minute includes client case tracking. So that's a way for property managers to be able to track client queries from start to finish so that they don't lose track of anything. And those can all have SLAs applied, and it will track all the communication between the client and the factor and the owner. And it isn't just owners either, it could be contractors or anyone else that they interact with outside of their business. So that's well underway, and it's looking really good. We also have a brand new calendar feature, which is looking great. That's going to allow the users to be able to keep track of all their tasks and their SLAs. So, linking back to that client case tracking, if they needed to get back on a client, one of those is going to pop up in the calendar and let them know they need to do that today, else they're going to breach their SLA on that reply. And yeah, that's looking really nice. It's all web-based, and it's going to look very familiar to anybody who's sort of used any calendar-based systems in sorts of things like Google or Google Calendar or Microsoft Outlook. It's very similar look and feel, so you should be right at home with that. So yeah, like I said, we're looking to we're well on track to have that ready in October to start showing everybody. Really excited about it. I'm sure it's going to hopefully be well received. But yeah, that's our aim, and we're well on track to get there.
Good, cool. Yeah, no, it does look fab. I've seen it. We do a show and tell every couple of weeks, so we can see progress, and it's great because it allows us to give feedback as well to the dev team. So, and it is looking fab. And yeah, and I'm going to hold you to October. Okay, cool. Okay, right. Jaxx is going to talk about some sponsorship conferences and such like stuff. I mean, we've got quite a few coming up. We used to do one a year, which was PMAS, but we've got quite a few between now and the end of the year, I think. Jaxx, do you want to talk about that?
Yes, it's conference season, isn't it? I think this time of the year. So the first one is the ARMA conference in London, which is on the 6th of October, so actually not that far away at all. So we're just getting ready and organised to attend there. First time in attendance as a stand holder, isn't it?
Yes, I went to the conference last year, but it's the first time we've exhibited. Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be good to see how that all goes. Then the next one is the end of October, the PMS conference, which this year we're an affiliate sponsor of. We'll have the stand there. Brian, Will, and Tom will be at the dinner the night before, and then also in attendance on the day to meet clients and chat to clients and do what we do at the PMS conference. Then the following month, November, is a wee trip to beautiful Aviemore for the SFHA Finance Conference, which is the 14th and 15th. So that's out there speaking to housing associations in a really beautiful part of the world. So whoever's going up there is quite lucky to be heading there.
I'm just assuming it's me, but yeah, okay. Tom will be there as well, but
yeah. So yeah, that'll be good to go up to that. And then the GOSIF, the Glasgow West of Scotland organisation, that's the 1st of December in Glasgow. So that will be our first time they've opened up their affiliate programme again. They had closed it down for a few years there, so we are just waiting on getting signed up to them, and we get to head along to their conference on the 1st of December as well. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes too, which I think is actually in collaboration with the SFHA. So lots of familiar faces, hopefully, from the finance one and previous things we've attended. So a lot going on.
Good. Excellent. No, that's good. And yeah, I guess the Armour one is early October. We're going to have a kind of a pre-released version of CPL Connect to show at that as well, aren't we? So that'll be good. That'll be good if anyone wants to come along and see that. Who's at that conference? Brilliant. Okay. Thanks, Jaxx. Okay. Well, let's talk about Blockworx.
Yeah. Okay. So some really kind of exciting stuff happening with Blockworx. So as some of our users will know, we've have an OCR feature in Blockworx to help our users upload their invoices without having to key in the information themselves. Blockworx will automatically read that information off the invoices. We spent a lot of time on that, and we've managed to fine tune it to a fairly decent point. Although there were still the occasional invoices that wouldn't quite read as we wanted. But recently we've been able to leverage the sort of AI advancements, which I'm sure everyone has heard of and seen in the news, or maybe even experienced themselves if they've had a dabble into some of the chatbots that are run by these. So we've started integrating with some of those services, and we now have almost a completely brand new OCR process now. So it's much improved on what we've had. In our demo so far, it's been very, very impressive. It's very high accuracy, and the speed is also much faster as well. So it's really going to add huge efficiencies to our users when they're uploading their invoices for payment, and also their quotes and estimates in the future. At the moment, we've implemented it. It's very close to being released. I think we're looking to release it in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So we're very close there, and like I say, it's working really well. Super excited to see it go out and have people being able to use it and sort of save loads of time on it. Yeah, it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, to be fair, I didn't believe. I didn't believe, but I wanted to see how quick and how accurate it was, and yes, it's pretty bloody amazing. To be fair, it's phenomenal the capabilities of it and the accuracy of it. In fact, Jaxx, I know I'm putting you on the spot. What was the marketing phrase you used in our newsletter for it? Can you remember?
I believe it was Swiss watchmakers would even be impressed.
Yes, by the accuracy. That's right. Yeah. That's right. No, it was, and it is fab. In fact, I had a demo. I made a show and tell of it about an hour ago, and it is looking brilliant. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, cool. Thanks, Phil. All right. So that's everything about Blockworx, isn't it? Yeah. Oh well, no, because actually there's something else coming at the same time, isn't there? The email side of things.
Oh yes, of course. Sorry, yeah, I got so excited with the AI side of things that I didn't think about that. But yeah, we've also implemented a kind of email parsing system. So rather than if the contractors or the users prefer to email their invoices into Blockworx, they can do that now. So rather than going to the site and uploading them, which was a fairly easy drag and drop process, they can now email us directly. We'll then pick up their emails and scan all those invoices from there directly, so it just saves them having to actually visit our site for that process. So it's just, again, saving a bit of time for the users there, and just making it all a bit smoother.
Yeah, and then all they need to do is go in and just tick them off and make sure they're happy with them. So it's great. Yeah, I mean, from the first release of Blockworx to this one, there's been a massive advance in that sort of technology. So
yeah, exactly.
Cool. Okay, cool. Right. So then the last thing, podcast. Okay, so for the last while actually, we've interviewed a lot of people on this subject. We've been doing a kind of mini series on Blocktalk Explorers, and we've been asking kind of anyone connected to industry or people connected to industry have come on the podcast, kind of 3 questions around their experience with number one, kind of education within the marketplace, and the other one being recruitment as well. You know, how they find recruiting, which is, I think everyone said, is pretty tough at the moment, to be fair. And the last one being on customer service as well. So we've had a good number on Blocktalk Explorers over the last few months. So they're easily findable. Sorry, my dog is moving. I thought he wanted to come and join in, but he's not. So I've had quite a few on that. So it'd be good if go and have a look and download them and have a look. The latest is Andrew Bulwer, CEO of the Property Institute. So his was a really good one, actually. Andrew's been on a few times now, and it's always very engaging and always very informative. And yeah, he has some he's not shy at talking about his views on things, which is absolutely great, because that's what we want. And in a few weeks' time, actually, we were meant to do it this week, but we had some illness in the office. We are going to do our first face-to-face podcast, which, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to. I am looking forward to, actually, because it just takes a different dimension. You know, I always struggle with. I'd much prefer in face-to-face meetings and things like that. You know, the amount of a meeting that's non-verbal is quite high. I don't know the actual percentage that stated, and that many people have got.
I think it is.
Yeah, is it?
I'm sure it's as high as 74. Yeah, I think it's 74%.
Yeah. So from a podcast point of view, I think that's going to be really good. Yeah, because it's quite getting cues off when you're face to face is just so much easier. So looking forward to that as well. So I think that's all we have to talk about today. Anyone got anything else they want to pitch in?
Just on the Blocktalk podcast, just on Andrew's what he talked about. What I found really interesting was when he, on the one about the education awareness of what Property Factor's role is, he actually made a point that hadn't been made by anyone else, saying about, he compared it to how we just agree to terms and conditions on our phone, and we don't actually look at what those are. And we just go in and start using it without knowing any of the terms and conditions or what we're signing up to. So actually, obviously the sort of gist of that is that should we be placing those sort of expectations onto new home buyers of flats, that they should know everything about what they're getting when they move in. And actually, it's more of a learning process and a hold in hand process and learn as you go thing, which has been brought up. Actually, I think it was Audrey from the Highlands Residential that actually brought up the same point. So it's actually really interesting just listening to everyone's point of views and getting those different inputs as well. And I think that's been a really interesting point that Andrew made on the last one. So definitely worth a listen to see what he said about it.
it is a fair point, because there's an expectation when you send someone a moving in pack that they're going to actually read it, right? Yeah. I mean, when was the last time anyone actually read a T's and C's before they signed it?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, commercially, you get your solicitor to check it, right? So if we enter a commercial agreement with someone, we get our solicitor to read the contract. That doesn't happen in a business to consumer world, does it? You know, you just accept it. You want to use Apple, you're not going to say no, are you? Yeah. So
It's like the Black Mirror episode where her life is put out onto Netflix because she hasn't read the terms and conditions.
Is that right?
Blimey.
Okay. Yes. Okay, cool. Anyone got anything else they want to talk about? Are we done?
I think so.
Cool. Right. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll do another one in another quarter, and hopefully we'll be talking about some more hires, because we do have 4 open hires at the moment. Actually, might as well talk about this. We have 4 open hires at the moment. We have tester. Yeah. We have 2 support. We have a PA. Yeah. That's what we have at the moment. Well, so we'll hopefully be new additions to the team next time as well. Okay. Thanks for listening, everyone.